Hey guys, it's Coach KJ, and I am back, coming back with Dr. Valentino, my partner in podcasting. So can't wait to have her back. Can't wait to do this show on July 23rd with the Christy Jagdfeld. Christy Jagdfeld is one of my heroes. She is a CPA turned superwoman, turned researcher, turned making a difference and creating hope for more families. So what I wanted to do today was I wanted to talk to Christy about somatosensory responses and sensory challenges, and one of the things that I try to talk to a lot of people about is allodonia, and they talk about how you shouldn't touch people because of sensitivity of skin, and a touch that feels like a feather could actually feel like to someone else who has allodonia like someone's cutting them with scraping their skin with glass. So Christy, I'm doing big picture. I'm doing big picture. Help us understand.
Yeah, when my daughter, she had a whole host of things happen, and one of the things we always thought she was ticklish, and
Was
you
she?
couldn't touch. She is, but more so than a regular person. You couldn't touch her neck, her shoulders. She just was like a live wire all the times. Her legs, and it just always seemed to be strange to me. And we would go places, and the doctor would touch her stomach or whatever, and everybody thought it was funny, but there were so many little signs like that that had we known bigger picture where we were going, looking back, all you got to have is a list with the doctor to say she's got this, and it all makes sense. But nobody could put all those things together, and everybody could explain it away, and it would lead into flashing lights. Flashing lights would make her nauseous, and horrible migraines, headaches, things like that. But
So,
the touch piece was something that just seemed so out of place.
so, Christy, did she tell you what was going on? Did she tell you that the lights were making her nauseous or the tickling was bothering her? Like,
No, not really. I mean, I think that the flashing lights, maybe people may have heard some things like that, and migraines. I did know that there was a connection between the two, but not so much some of the other chronic illness pieces that went along with it, because it's like you open a can of worms, and the worms just keep coming out. There's more things that go along with it, and it manifests differently in different people. So you may have X, Y, and Z, and somebody else has elemental P. It's just very difficult to kind of have a list. But when you start talking to somebody and they're like, I know that's exactly what my daughter has, or my son has this. And there are people that are very ticklish. So, you could easily write those things off, but it's like a
so,
nerve. You're just very sensitive nerves in general.
so let me ask something. You take her to the doctor's office. The doctor tests her stomach or touches her or whatever. What does she do?
Um, Recoils or laughs or practically jumps off the bed, and everybody thinks it's silly or cute, and he's tries again, and uh
So at
really
some particular time, did somebody say, "Hey, look, she's just looking for attention. She's just doing it
many
to make us laugh"?
many
But
times.
you as a mom, let me ask you something. You as a mom, if she's sensitive to touch with the doctors, was she sensitive to touch when you went to hug her?
Yes, very much so. Or put your arm around her. We do pictures, and you couldn't put your arm around her. You
How
couldn't
did
touch her.
that make you feel when you couldn't put your arm around your daughter? I mean, did you?
I don't know. It was just such a surreal kind of thing. She just was one of these kids that had nothing that made sense. So it was chalked up to be just a, clear that there was, because some of all things that to OC
Chrissy,
in
you're very choppy. I can't
soon as
understand.
she hit fifth grade.
So
Oh,
I
sorry
think an
about that.
airplane went over. But
Uh,
as this is going on, right?
oh,
As this is going on and you're going to the doctors and like I said, the hug and everything, were you ever longing for that day when like one day she's going to sit and hug me, one day we're going to take a picture, we're going to be holding hands, one day was that ever a part of your desire, your dream, your goal, whether it be big or
of course.
small, to see that day?
Of course. And, I have two older kids, and she was definitely very different than the older two. And so when OCD and things all became much worse and harder to deal with, we knew we needed to try to find some answers.
Wow. Wow. Did you ever at any particular time say, hey, look, you know what? This is, or at what particular time did you say, hey, you know what? This is not it. It's getting worse. Like what was that? What was that breaking moment to say, hey, look, you know what? This is not funny. There's
Yeah.
something there.
Well, it was hard because of her older sister and brother and wanting to kind of shield them from some of the things as they became irrational behaviors. And I guess one of the times I would sometimes just need a break and I would go outside in the front bushes so that nobody could find me and just sit. Or I'd be in the garage with her, just trying to work through her heavy emotions. And do I call an ambulance? Do I call the doctor? Do we do nothing? Knowing that sometimes mental health pieces get escalated into bad situations. And I knew there,
Are you saying DSS?
yeah,
Yeah. So that was one of the things when I was working with Candace is that they told me that, a lot of times parents don't want to tell their testimony. They don't want to share their story because as soon as they do, then DSS comes knocking on the
yeah.
door.
Yeah,
So,
for sure. And really you have this fear of failure, of course. And what do you do? Because it could quickly escalate into something that it didn't need to. It's a medical issue, and you need someone medically to help you, not someone that's going to separate you or put you in a straitjacket or put you in some kind of an institution. That's not the answer. So you think about parents that have different levels of education or patience or, understanding. And how do you deal with something like that in the moment?
right, right, right. And how do you deal? Sometimes clinicians and sometimes people who are making the decisions don't have a child with a disability. They don't have, they may not even have children at all. So it's hard for them to empathize and understand sometimes, you know, what you see, etc. Because a lot of times, or not sometimes, sometimes they only see what goes on in the clinical setting. So
Yeah.
what I want to say is, Christy, you have some real stories. You can give us new depth, new insight as to what goes on, inside the clinician's office, outside the clinician's office, and also the financial, the emotional, the all those different things, the journey, the highs, the lows, etc. I mean, I know that you've got a wealth of knowledge and a wealth of insight that you can share with listeners on July 23rd, because today we're not going to say any more because then we want everybody to tune in, right? So on July 23rd, I know that you have a powerful story just by some of the tidbits that we've talked about and from your daughter's swimming and all the other kind of things. But if you want to find out, guys, you got to tune in. So
Yeah.
what we're going to do is I'm going to say thank you, Christy, for all that you're doing, for the blessing that you are, for the hope that you're providing, for the insight you're providing to clinicians and researchers and parents and families and just all that you're doing. You are a blessing. So
Well, thank you, Kelly.
thank
I
you.
look forward to sharing it with everyone and hope that people can find a way to know that things will get better. There is hope.
Yeah. And you are going to be interviewed by one of the best because my co-host, Dr. Valentina, she is phenomenal inside and out. She has such an amazing heart and such a powerful voice. So I'm really excited that we're going to be back together. So we are back on July 23rd, 10 p.m. Eastern time. I'll send the link out if for people who don't have it. I'll keep sending it out over and over and over again. But once again, thank you. And I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm excited about hope. Hope.
Me too. Thank you so much, Kelly. You
All
do
right.
wonderful things.
Awesome. Hold on.